Yep, we're talking about it. I feel like I'm going to regret this because I can already feel the comments being vigorously typed, but in this video, we are talking about VoIP and why I think it will be a net positive on Escape from Tarkov, whether you are excited for it or not. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about the sponsor for this video, Juju. The guys at Juju have been so awesome. They hooked us up with the Kazam branded shaker cup. We had the white one, we sold out of that, and now we got the fresh black cup with the white design. As you guys know, Juju is an energy supplement designed specifically for gamers to improve reaction time, focus, and energy, all without providing any sort of hard crashes at the end. These guys are awesome. I've loved working with them. If you want to know more about them or you want to purchase your own Kazam shaker cup or your own flavors, you can use the code Jessekazam down at the link below for 10% off your order. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So like we said, we got some new information about VoIP. Nikita was on a Russian podcast. Nikita was on a podcast with Clean and Lucas from T-Rex Arms. Both of those podcasts, they talked a little bit about VoIP, so I thought this was a good time to dive into it a little bit. Now, at the end of the day, everything is subject to change as far as features or how they're going to be implemented. And even once it's actually in the game, everything is still subject to change. So, take everything with a grain of salt around features. And this is really a subjective thing. So disagreeing with each other is okay. My opinion holds no more weight than anybody else's. I really have to put a disclaimer on this video that I'm actually not really trying to convince you to change your opinion on VoIP. And I mean that. If you're excited about VoIP like I am, that's awesome. If you're not excited about VoIP, that's actually totally okay. The TLDR of this video and the point of this video is that if a feature can be added to the game that half of the community loves and it adds an incredible amount of value to and replayability to the game, and the other half of the community that isn't excited about the feature literally is not affected at all by that feature, that's a net positive because players are getting more value without having to put down or do anything negative to any of the players that weren't excited about it. So if that's all you wanted to hear, that's that. You can drop the comment down below letting me know how wrong I am. But I want to start with what we know about how VoIP is going to work. So we know VoIP is coming in 12.12, which is the next major patch that's going to be coming for Escape from Tarkov. We just had 12.11.2, and we might have a few more smaller patches like that. We don't know when 12.12 is going to come out. I would guess over the next few months. There were a lot of different versions and a lot of different conversations around VoIP, but it seems like what they've settled on is it just being basically a stock standard proximity chat at launch. It seems like it's going to be defaulted to off, and that you would have to go and turn it on. They have talked a lot in the past about making VoIP like equipment based, and they could then take anything they worked on and supplement VoIP with that, where it's proximity chat, but then you could also potentially have a radio or a walkie-talkie meet somebody in game, tune to the right frequency, and then still be able to talk to each other on the other side of the map. Maybe you guys go for a big wide flank on somebody or go get some different loot and then meet up. Something like that. We don't know, but they did work on those things, radios and stuff like that, so it wouldn't surprise me. And then additionally, he talked about how they can roll VoIP back to a kind of more simplified version if they need to. If they feel like it doesn't really fit with the game, that they can roll it back to this like kind of walkie-talkie or radio use only. I think that gets a little convoluted and weird and hard to do, but hey, it's not my game. So if they want to do that, they totally can. But it looks like it's going to be proximity chat at launch, and then they will see how it goes from there. Now, that being said, knowing how it works, if you've been in the Tarkov community for any amount of time, especially around any of these conversations, you know that VoIP can be very controversial and people, kind of get up in arms about it. I think, once again, going back to it's important to know that it's going to default to off. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier. If you're not excited about VoIP, that's okay. I'm not here to change your mind. You can feel safe knowing that Escape from Tarkov will just never change for you. When they update this patch, you will just never go turn VoIP on, and Escape from Tarkov will not be any different to you forever. So that's the end of it, right? You just don't have to worry about it. Tarkov will be the same. If you want to dabble with it, there's going to be the ability to mute it. There's been the ability to mute players in the settings as long as I've been in the game. You can't check the box, but the box has been there as long as I've been playing the game. And BSG seems like they really want to take care. Nikita has been really back and forth on VoIP, so it really seems like they're trying to go the extra mile to make sure that it's used correctly. He talked about there being bans and punishments for people who abuse it, potentially all the way up to getting their account banned if they're really abusing it, and then even potentially getting VoIP banned from a specific account for a small period of time or potentially permanently. We're going to be able to report players that abuse it. And I know the concern there is that people will go around and then reporting every single person that they come in contact with, we got to remember that there is a report system in the game for cheating and inappropriate names right now. And the way that that works is if somebody just starts reporting every single person when they die because they're salty, they go into a different bucket where their reports are basically meaningless, and BSG doesn't look into them because it's the whole boy who cried wolf thing. You can't trust somebody that's just reporting every single person they're interacting with, because that's just not how that works. So we already have some filters for that to make the reporting system function well. I'm assuming they're going to bring that to the equation as well. I think one of the biggest concerns is always just that every single human that you come in contact with will be yelling profanities, racial slurs, playing music, or something like that. Now, I'm sure that those things will happen. We can definitely not say that they won't. It's VoIP. People can just talk or do whatever they want. I think the important thing to remember, though, and a lot of times I feel like people don't give off this vibe, is that there are other video games in the world we live in that have VoIP. These games are streamed live on Twitch all the time. A lot of people enjoy these games. Some of these games are more toxic than others. I think the way people engage with a video game determines how they engage with VoIP as well. Games that are kind of built around, just like heckling other people and PvPing in that way tend to be more toxic. And games where the gear or what's on you or your character's life really, really matter, Squad, DayZ, something like that, feel like the VoIP is used in a different way. Neither is necessarily bad. It's how people are enjoying the game. So I think that's important to understand, is that other video games have VoIP. And I think a lot of time people, either streamers get concerned or people get concerned for streamers, saying that, people are going to be able to get you banned. All you got to do is read the Twitch terms of service. Twitch knows how this works and knows how, video games work. And as long as a streamer distances themselves from that situation, condemns that behavior, and maybe mutes VoIP or turns it off for a little bit of time, that streamer will be okay. So most of the concerns with VoIP are, at the end of the day, just non-issues, because you can just turn it off, or you can just look to other games that are played and see that it's not as bad as a lot of people think. And the other side of that coin is it has potential to be great. It has potential to really change how the game is played for those that want to use it. There's an infinite amount of examples, but just to name a few, questing early game could be so much easier or helpful if you can communicate with players. There's a lot of mutual benefit early game if both players are trying to quest or doing something. Of course, towards the end of the wipe, you might have a new player and, a level 70 Chad, but early game, there's so much mutual benefit to working together to get quests done that there could be so much done there. I know that I would love to help people get quests done if they could communicate to me. Trusting somebody without communicating is really hard, and trusting somebody with communicating is hard, and that adds to the tension as well. Scavving and scav karma has really, in my opinion, left groups of scavs just not knowing what to do, throwing random stuff on the ground. If you spawn in with a labs key card and you've been grinding for one more spark plug to upgrade your generator, and you're just like, listen, I will trade this labs card for a spark plug, stuff like that could be really, really cool. I think the biggest potential positive thing coming from VoIP is that it can add to replayability to this game. And that is what I think is important, where a normal interaction, a normal fight, has infinite more opportunities to become a not normal fight. There have been a lot of games over the past that have had really long lives that haven't necessarily added too much to the game as far as content, and that's because the game loop is replayable. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what experience you're going to get. And something like VoIP has the potential to add that to Escape from Tarkov, to bring back tension and stress throughout the entire wipe. If you're a level 60 and you're like, you know what, let me see if I can befriend this guy. Will he betray me? Will he try and shoot me in the back? Is he trying to do something fishy, or are we working together? There have been tons of games where you can see stuff like this happen, and bringing that to Tarkov has the potential to increase immersion in certain situations and increase replayability, even if immersion is broken, even if it's just funny encounters where people are talking trash or people are being weird or doing silly voices. It's not all about immersion. It's not all about, the hardcoreness of the game. It's also about how fun it is to go back and replay things over and over. And this has the potential to really kind of bring that replayability factor, to bring even more variation to your raids, to where you're going, to who you experience. And it could be very beneficial to the game long term. Certain games like DayZ, you risk your entire character to trust somebody, right? If you die, you start with nothing. Not just risking a single kit, you risk your entire character's life to trust somebody. But a lot of the DayZ that I've watched with some streamers have had crazy interactions where this still works, where trust can be formed, where people can do stuff together, where betrayals are so meaningful because you lose that character. Things like that, the stress, the tension that Tarkov does so well can be extended and held out potentially. Like we said, the kind of final note, there's a lot of potential, but it's not forced on anyone. The people that want to enjoy it and want to take that risk can, and it can add value to them in the game. And the people that don't can continue to engage with this game exactly as they want to. Now, how do I think VoIP will play out? I truly believe that the first few weeks of VoIP will be the worst it will be. I think there are a lot of people that want to see it fail, so they will intentionally be incredibly toxic. I think there will be a lot of people that are just trolls and they'll be incredibly toxic, and then eventually they'll get bored. I think everybody that wants this to fail or wants this to crumble will get bored trying to be super toxic, potentially get their accounts banned, potentially get the ability to have VoIP on get banned. And after 4 to 6 weeks, it will really start to level out into something where you really never know what you're going to get, and it'll be in a really good place. I'm very willing to be proven wrong. If VoIP ends up being a terrible thing for this game, the devs will roll it back and we will know. But my thought is, as long as there's ways to turn it off, as long as it's not forced on anybody, I think the people that want to have fun with it will be able to take those opportunities. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below on if you think VoIP is a good idea or a bad idea. Please be gentle. Let's keep it civil down there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. If you liked the video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Like we said before, I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord server is an awesome place to be. That link is down below as well. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.